Good morning everybody. So in this class we are starting the next chapter of 10th class, that is control and coordination chapter. So what is this control? This control, it is the power of regulation or restraint by which any process can be started, it can be slowed down or it can be stopped. So control is the power of regulation or restraint by which any process can be started, it can be slowed down or it can be stopped. Now the second term, that is coordination. Coordination means the orderly or harmonious functioning of different but interrelated parts so as to bring or carry out some function, so as to bring some activity or to carry out some function. So in this chapter we will study about the control and coordination in case of plants and the control and coordination in case of animals. So we first start with the control and coordination in case of plants. So in plants, as we well know, that they do not contain any nervous system or sense organs like eyes, ears, skin, nose, which are present in animals. But then also these plants can sense the things. So these plants, they sense the things with the help of certain hormones present in them, and they can sense the stimulus or some external message which are obtained by them, such as gravity, the light, the water, maybe some chemical, or that stimulus in the form of the touch. So all these stimulus, they can be responded by plants with the help of certain hormones present in these plants. So these hormones which are present in plants and which are responsible for control and coordination in case of plants, they are known as either simply the plant hormones or they are also known as phytohormones. Phytohormones. So these plants, though they do not contain the sense organs or the nervous system, but then also they can sense the things and they can sense the stimulus like the gravity, the light, the water, the chemical or the touch stimuli with the help of the hormones present in them, and these hormones are known as phytohormones or simply the plant hormones. So it is the phytohormones with the help of which the plants carry out the control and coordination process. So now we will study these phytohormones in details. So these phytohormones, they are also known as plant growth substances, as they are responsible for controlling the activities of plants, that is the growth of plants. So our first plant hormone is auxins. So these auxins, they are synthesized in the cells, that is in plant cells, which are present at root and shoot tips. So auxins are synthesized in plant cells. Which plant cells? Those plant cells which are present at root and shoot tips. Now come to the function of these auxins in case of plants. So the first function of this auxin in case of plant is cell elongation and cell differentiation. Cell elongation and cell differentiation. So these auxins are responsible for increasing the length of a plant cell. So they result in cell elongation in plants. The second is cell differentiation. So the cell differentiation in case of plants, it usually depends upon the concentration of auxins. Suppose if the concentration of auxins is higher in plants, then higher concentration of auxins will result in the differentiation of xylem cells, whereas the lower concentration of auxins results in the differentiation of phloem cells. So this auxin, it is responsible for cell differentiation and cell elongation in case of plants. Now the second function of auxins in case of plants is apical dominance. Apical dominance. What is this apical dominance? So Apical dominance means in case of plants, if there is any apical bud is present, then these auxins they inhibits the growth of the lateral buds. For example, here we are having some plant, and on this plant at tip part we are having any bud. It is bud. Then this bud is called the apical bud because it is present at apical part or tip part of a plant. Now, what is this apical dominance? Apical dominance means if in a plant the apical bud is present, then this is dominant bud, and these auxins they will not allow the growth of any lateral bud. These auxins they will not allow the growth of any lateral bud. Now, next thing, that is next function of these auxins in case of plants is tropic movement. Tropic movement. These tropic movements we will discuss later, but now we are discussing the role of auxins in case of tropic movements in plants. So these auxins they plays important roles in tropic movement of plants against either light or the gravity. Suppose we are having a plant here, and in this plant the auxins are distributed uniformly all around the stem. Auxins are distributed uniformly all around along all the length of this stem, and from here the sunlight is coming. The sunlight is coming from this side. Then these auxins have a tendency to remain away from sunlight. So when sunlight is coming from this direction, these auxins, all these auxins moves towards the opposite side, that is to this side. All the auxins have moved toward the shaded portion of the plant. So now we have said that these auxins are responsible for cell elongation. So they will result in the elongation of the cells present in this half of the plant. And due to which this half of the plant grows much in comparison to this half, and this results in bending of the plant. Towards sunlight. So this is known as the tropic movement. So tropic movements are the movements of plant parts or plant organs against some stimuli or in response to some stimuli. So here the stimuli is sunlight, for which the plant parts are responding. Now, the next function of these auxins in case of plants, that they promotes fruit growth. So these auxins also promotes the fruit growth. Further, these auxins they promotes shoot growth, but inhibits root growth. That is initiation of roots, we can say. So this they promotes shoot growth, but they inhibits the root growth. Now the second plant hormone is gibberellins. These gibberellins they are also responsible for cell enlargement and cell differentiation, as we have already discussed in the auxins. So it is the same function of gibberellins, because gibberellins and auxins are both are growth hormones. So they are responsible for cell enlargement and cell differentiation. Second, they breaks dormancy. In seeds and buds. So they breaks dormancy in seeds and buds. The third function of gibberellins in case of plants is they are responsible for promoting fruit growth. They promotes fruit growth. And next, they also results in shoot growth by shoot elongation. They results in shoot growth by shoot elongation. Now these gibberellins they also promotes bolting. they also promotes bolting. This bolting is internodal elongation. Internodal elongation prior to flowering, or you can say before flowering, and it is usually found in the plant of cabbage. You can say cabbage, or it is also found in beet plant. Now the third plant hormone is cytokinins. As the name denotes, cyto means cell, and this kinesis means to divide. To divide. So these cytokinins are the hormones which are responsible for cell division in case of plants. So the first function of cytokinins is that they help in cell division, or they promotes cell division in case of plants. Now the second, these cytokinins, they are responsible for chloroplast formation. They are responsible for chloroplast formation in case of plants, as they converts etioplast into chloroplast by synthesis of chlorophyll. So they convert etioplast into chloroplast by synthesis of chlorophyll in etioplast. So they are responsible for chloroplast formation in case of plants. Now next function of cytokinins is morphogenesis. Morphogenesis. Now morphogenesis is the process of shoot initiation in plants. Shoot initiation in plants. Further, these cytokinins, it also helps in overcoming apical dominance. So they helps in overcoming apical dominance. The fifth is they helps in senescence. This senescence means these cytokinins, they delays the aging of leaves in plants. So they delays the aging of leaves in plants, or they delays the senescence of leaves in case of plants. Now the next plant hormone is abscisic acid, also known as ABA or stress hormone. Now this ABA, it is usually responsible for inhibiting plant growth. It is responsible for inhibiting growth of plant, or it inhibits the growth of plant. So the first function of this abscisic acid is it is responsible for reducing the size of stomatal aperture or stomatal pore, you can say. Second, it is also responsible, or it also promotes closing of stomata. Further, it is responsible for falling and wilting of leaves. Wilting means the process of drying of leaves and then curving. Okay. The fourth function of this abscisic acid is it is also responsible for increasing hydraulic conductivity. In case of plants, that is the process of uptake of water by plants. Now further, this abscisic acid, it is also responsible for detachment of leaves, fruits and flowers from plant. So it is responsible for detachment of leaves, fruits and flowers from plants. Now the next plant hormone is ethylene, and this ethylene, it is a gaseous hormone. It is a gaseous hormone, and usually it is responsible for ripening of fruits, and that's why it is also known as ripening hormone. So ethylene promotes the ripening of fruits, and it is also known as the ripening hormone. Next, it is also responsible for abscission. This abscission, it is the process of the falling of leaves or the shedding of leaves and flowers from plants. Now, the next function of ethylene is epinasty. So, this ethylene, it promotes epinasty. It promotes epinasty. Epinasty is the process when the upper part of leaf increases more in size in comparison to the lower side, due to which the leaf gets curved or it moves towards downward. That is downward curvature of leaves due to more growth of upper part of leaves in comparison to the lower part. So that process is known as epinasty, and this ethylene hormone, it promotes the epinasty. It also promotes the abscission. So these are the functions of these plant hormones. Thank you.